Hey everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And I came in today to talk about a story that I needed to talk about. So I don't know if you guys heard the story of the little girl who got into a classroom fight in South Carolina at Forest Hills Elementary School. She was in the 5th grade and her and another student got into a fight in the classroom. Now, after the fight, this little girl was unconscious and she was taken to the nurse's office. And from there, they transported her to a hospital, and I believe she was eventually airlifted to a children's hospital. Now, 2 days after this classroom fight, this little girl died. Y'all, when I heard this story, it brought back so many memories of my childhood. Now, let me tell you why it did. When I was younger, I was a bullied child. I am small. At this point in my life, I'm only 4'11". So can you imagine how tall I was when I was in the 5th grade? If I'm 4'11" now, imagine the height that I was in the 5th grade. I also wore glasses. And back then, we didn't have these little thin frames. I had thick glasses. I was a nerd. And I also had a last name that was very unique, and they used to make fun of it. So with all that being said, me being little, a lot of people used to pick on me, bully me. And let me tell you the type of child I was. I wasn't a child that would initiate a fight, but I would fight back. Now, all through elementary, middle school, all of that, I was bullied. I grew up playing with 2 boys, and I'm going to tell you guys what changed the tide to make me really fight back. I remember I was telling my uncle about these 2 girls that had been bullying me. The bullying got so bad that my mother contacted the school. The school really wouldn't do anything. My mother went down to the juvenile detention home and, told them what was going on at the school, and we really didn't get anywhere. I think what happened back then is that we were told to get the names of the girls, and the detention home sent a letter to their homes warning them that if they continue to bully me, that there will be consequences. Now, they just did that because they thought if the letter went to the parents, then the parents would speak to their child. Now, like any child, when my mother was going through this, I was thinking, oh my God, this is going to make it worse. But my mother wanted it to stop. It was getting really bad. So about this time, I was over speaking to my uncle. And my uncle, I was telling him about the bullying, and my uncle stopped me and he said, Rachel, I watch you around here playing with your brothers, tussling around with them. He said, you're out here playing football and everything with 2 boys all day long, every day. He said, you can fight. You just don't know that you can. He said, because if you're able to throw your brothers around like that and all of that, he said, why are you letting these girls bully you? I thought about what my uncle said, and I had told my uncle that they were bigger than me, they were way bigger than me, and all of that. And I think that while I wasn't afraid to fight, I was afraid to get hurt because they were so much bigger than me. So what my uncle told me is, he said, I know this is not politically correct, but I'm going to teach you what to do. He said, by you being little, you cannot let them hit you first. He was like, because if they hit you first, you may not get a chance to hit them again. He said, now, when you go to the office and they tell them that you hit them first, you probably be suspended, but this will keep them up off your ass. He said, while they're running their mouths, talking about what they going to do to you, what they're going to do to you, you haul off and punch them in the fucking stomach. He was like, when you punch someone in the stomach, it knocks all of their wind out. He said, and it's their natural instinct is going to be to grab their stomach. He said, when they go to grab their stomach and they bend over, they're on eye level. He told me to punch them in the nose. He said, and then once they get punched in the nose, the first thing that's going to happen is their nose is going to bleed. He said, so they're going to grab their nose. He said, so at that point, you've knocked the wind out of them, you've bloodied their nose, and then he told me, go in for the kill. Just go crazy and beat them up. You know, just don't stop until someone pulls you off of them. So y'all, this one particular time, I was coming home from school, and this one bully that had been bullying me from elementary school through the 8th grade, she followed me home. And by the time I made it to my house, she had a crowd. So I was a little ways up ahead of her. So what I did is I went up on the porch, put my book back up there, and then I took off my coat, took my glasses off, went back to the corner and waited for her. When she came to the corner, I said, you know what? Come on, let's do this. Let's get this over with, because you have been bullying me for years, and today let's just get it over with. Basically, I was thinking if she fucks me up, I'm just going to be fucked up, but I'm going to fight her back. And today is the day that, you know, it's not going to be any more pushing me around. So she laughed. And, you know, you basically told me I didn't want none of her, what all she was going to do to me. So while she was talking, I did exactly what my uncle told me to. I punched the shit out of her in her stomach. And just like he said, she bent over. I punched her in the nose. I did the whole 9. All I remember is being pulled off of her. Now, this particular bully was like the bully of the neighborhood. So when I was fighting her, the crowd that had followed her when she was picking with me had increased. So everyone saw me kick her ass. Y'all, I didn't just beat her up. From what they tell me, because I guess I blacked out once it got started, I beat the shit out of her. And the thing is, she never bothered me again. And it also sent the message to other people that you might be able to push this girl around, because y'all, let me just say this. I wasn't quick to fight. I was one of those type of people that you had to push me in the corner, but I would come out swinging. And like I said, what my uncle told me was true. I didn't know that I could fight. I just didn't know, because you know, I had been running around with my brothers, you know, tussling with them, as my uncle said. But what that did is it toughened me up, though I did not realize it. Now, the reason why I bring up my story is this, is for this reason. All of my bullying started in elementary, and it was the same bullies. The same bully that bullied me in elementary followed me to middle school, and my mother had been trying to get the school to do something about it, and nothing was ever done. The bullying didn't stop until I whooped that girl's ass. I still remember her name to this day. I will not say her name because she might be watching my video, but just put it this way, I fucked her up. It is sad that this child, this 5th grader, went to school that day, got into a fight in the classroom, and within 48 hours, she was dead. But for the grace of God, there goes Rachel, because that could have happened to me. Y'all, I spent my elementary school years and my 7th and 8th grade years fighting practically every week because I was bullied because I was little. I had a parent that was very active, that would go up to the school, speak to the people in the office, and try to get help for the bullying, and it never stopped until I fought back. Now, this little girl did the same, but what I find sad is she died. And I'm wondering, where were the school officials when this fight was going on? Where were the teachers? Where were the hall monitors? Where were the adults? The only thing I could think is this baby fell down and hit her head, and it knocked her unconscious. You know, there was probably something swelling in her brain and the whole 9 yards. And this child lost her life. These schools have got to get a handle on this bullying. Y'all, I'm here to tell you, when you are a bullied child, you feel alone. You feel alone. Because I remember when I was younger and this was going on, because everyone else was scared of the bullies, when they would bully me, everyone else would like kind of, you know, turn away and act like it wasn't happening. Thank God that I was a child that fought back and nothing like this ever happened to me. But when I think about this little girl, when I look at her face, I remember myself at her age. I was being, you know, involved in fights. I would go to the playground, people would pick on me. I would go here, I would go there, people would pick on me. And I don't know, you know, why I didn't fight to the extent of my abilities every time. I think that pep talk that my uncle gave me unlocked something in me where I said to myself, I don't give a damn how little I am. If somebody fucks with me, I'm going to fuck them up. I even, y'all, now this is crazy. You know how you can't bring a weapon to school? Because I used to be thinking I need an equalizer because these bitches are bigger than me. I need to pick up something and bust them in their fucking head, a 2x4 or something. So my grandmother told me about something where you take a bar of soap and you put it in a sock. And my grandmother was like, that cannot be considered a weapon. This is how bad I was bullied. My grandmother even got in on advice to give to me to get these bullies up off of me. She said, Rachel, one good thing, you will fight back. You are not a runner. They will back you in the corner and you will come out swinging. But my grandmother was like, you need an equalizer because these bitches are bigger than you. You don't want them to be able to get up on you. So she put a bar of soap in a sock, and she was like, tomahawk whoop them bitches, beat them down with this bar of soap. You know, I just can't believe that this is still going on. And it's even worse because now you have cyberbullying, you have, you know, just kids being bullied, not only in the school, walking home in their neighborhoods, but now you have it online. You even have kids nowadays committing suicide because they're being bullied. Now, when I was younger, I really had some low moments being the victim of bullying, but I never got so low that I considered suicide. I think because in my heart, I had that thing where it would take me a long time to fight back, but when I did, thank God that I had been tussling with my brothers and that unbeknownst to me, I could fight. It's weird when you don't know. And I remember my uncle telling me, he said, a lot of times when you're scared, you fight so hard out of desperation because you're so scared that you're going to get hurt, that you go crazy. And he also said that what happens is all that bullying, you know, it builds up, and when you finally unleash because you've been bullied, you basically damn near fuck the person up. So they said that with this young girl that died, they don't have all of the details of exactly what happened, you know, how it got to the point where this baby died, y'all. Remember yourself in the 5th grade. How old are you? 9, 10, something like that? She was about 10 years old, and a fight in a classroom took her young life. It breaks my heart because, like I said, y'all, it reminds me so much of myself. So much of myself. I remember times where the teacher would have to step out the room, and you know, I would be in the classroom, and I even had long hair. They would pull my little ponytails and stuff. And I remember one time I mentioned that I wore glasses. I remember one time the teacher stepped out the room, and the bully snatched my glasses off, and they wouldn't give them back, and they were passing them around from one person to another. And when they heard the teacher starting to walk back towards the classroom, they gave them back. Little stuff like that. You know, and I didn't know whether I should should have told the teacher what was going on. But one thing I will say, thank God that I fought back Thank God that I kept those bullies up off my ass, because this could have been me, y'all. This could have been me. I could have been one of those kids that just couldn't take it anymore and took their own life. Or I could have been one of those kids that maybe didn't fight back or fought back, and I ended up hurting somebody or somebody hurt me. They have got to stop this bullying. They have got to take control. Y'all, let me know what you think about this story, and if you have any stories about being bullied, or if you were the bully, put it down in the comments. As always, thanks for watching my video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.